Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and today's episode is kind of a different one than most I've done. I'm going to basically cover the career of Hiroko Moriguchi and basically how anime has affected her career. All right. So, many of the people, first of all, have kind of heard her name around. Hiroko Moriguchi. She's forever. In my eyes, I've always known her as the Gundam Girl, and I've labeled her as such because of the songs that she's done for anime. Okay, specifically Gundam and specifically Zeta Gundam. Okay. But I'll start at the beginning, and then sort of kind of bring you into that, and sort of show you and tell you how that moniker kind of became along. Okay, she was born in June 13th, 1968. So she's actually just a touch younger than I am right now. But the significant thing about what she did. Is that usually breaking into the music industry is really hard. Trying to get that first specific sort of role in the music industry is really tough. But she really got shall we say jackpot, shall we say? Okay, as her debut song, her number one song that she did, her first song that she ever did. Okay, happened to be in 1985. When she debuted the Zeta Gundam second opening theme song, Mizuno no Hoshi will Komete, okay? I mean, that's quite a big honor. I mean, it's an opening theme song for an anime, a really, a pretty historic anime as well, okay? This song hit number 16 on the Oricon charts, okay? So, went up there and basically, stayed on the charts for quite a few weeks. The other interesting thing about this is part of the composition of this song was actually done by a Neil Sedaka. Okay, very familiar name for some people out there. Okay. Anyway, so basically, so when she started her music career, she was able to debut this very, very number one song. Now, the usual problem with this is once and some people like to refer to it as the Luke Skywalker syndrome, okay, and that is when Mark Hamill landed the role of Luke Skywalker and it became such a success in Star Wars. Unfortunately, it typecasted him and basically narrowed his role to those type of characters only. And so basically, unlike say for example Harrison Ford. He was able to adapt and move on to other roles and other movies and that kind of stuff, and basically, have a very kind of a very good repertoire of different acting abilities in his career. So, unfortunately, being the first song that you do as an anime song, it might typecast you as being, oh well, you're only good enough to do anime songs. Okay. So, let's see if this happens, right? Okay, so we go through her career, and in 1985, it says she releases this, Zeta Gundam as the debut song. Okay, so basically, through her musical talents, she managed to, with her agent, managed to land this job to sing this particular song, and she did really well with it, and it was very, very popular because again, it has the influence of anime fans as well as public interest in the song. Okay, so then usually what happens is once you enter the machine, shall we say, of the Japanese music industry, because I said unlike over here, they almost have like a textbook, almost like I said, like literally a machine. You basically take the idol singer, you place her on the conveyor belt, and you basically go through this process, and they process you through the through the system. making you do everything from voice lessons, acting, take pictures here and there, movies, performances. You got to show up for these different types of shows and all this other stuff. So it's very much a system there. So basically, she gets put on and she going through this particular system. Okay. Now, the next song that she releases is number 2. The second song is a song called Samira no Kimochi. All right, and this is in February 21st, 1986. Okay. This song didn't fare as well. I mean, it got on to the top 100 chart. It made it to number 87. So, it's still relatively successful. Maybe not as successful as they'd like it to be. It didn't match the same success as the Zeta Gundam song, but all right. It's a good second showing. Okay. She later followed it up with her third single. It's called "Still Love You." This was released in February 21st, 1987, almost a year later. Okay, this is the opening theme song for an anime called Circuit Angels, an OAVA about bike racing and that kind of stuff. Okay, so again, another anime song. Okay, this one unfortunately failed to rank in the top 100. Okay, so in a lot of eyes, that's not successful. That's that's a poor showing. But again, it happens, so that's fine. We'll maybe release her song and see what happens. Okay, so she continues on. Her fourth song that she releases as a single is called "Kare Ido no Smile." Okay, that was released in November 21st, 1987. So again, 8 months later. This happens to be the ad song for a drink. Which is referred to as Kirin Lemon. Okay, so I guess lemon flavored beer. I guess. Basically, this song again failed to rank in the top 100. So again, even though it was a a promo item or a CM's insert song, it didn't rank at all. So again, you have this problem of you have the successful song. As your debut song, and you've now been unable to match that same kind of ranking, that same sort of influence song or popularity as your first one. Okay, so it's a bit of a floundering situation, right? Okay, her fifth song, okay, that she releases is one called "Endless Dream." Okay. It was first initially released in April 1988, April 21st. That's about 5 months after her Kirin song. Okay, this particular thing is again the opening theme song, the second opening theme song for a anime called Ace no Rai. Okay, it's basically a tennis anime. Okay. Many of you people are probably familiar with Tapanurai, which is the sort of based on that same name for Gunbusters. Okay. Again, the song "Endless Dream" failed to rank in the top 100. So now we've got a string of hits, quite a few anime songs and that kind of stuff in her repertoire now. Even as an anime girl, okay. Basically can only sing songs that are anime songs. Still not making it, right? So this is, obviously it's gonna get a little bit frustrating here. You'd expect that after several tries at this, you would get some some songs, get some songs that at least get some ranking up there, because that's how you make your money, right? So onwards it goes. She make a mention of this time of the Japanese have this, shall we say, machine, which basically makes you basically stick your idol singer on here, and then or your music star or whatever, and they just kind of goes along this conveyor belt, and all this stuff happens, right? So one of the things that sort of goes into the process, shall we say, and if you kind of follow along, you kind of do it. She now releases they need to release videos. Okay. Now, usually in some artists, they'll release like here I am performing in concert, and here's a bunch of videos of people singing in concert. Okay. But the problem is if you don't have a lot of songs in your repertoire, then your concert video is not going to be that exciting. You don't have a lot of songs, so you can't really make a long video of your concert because you're not singing lots of popular songs. You only got like, you know, 1 or 2 songs that you can sing. So at this point in her career, she hasn't got a lot of songs. You know, Zeta Gundam, okay, and she's got a few anime songs. Okay, maybe she can sing some cover songs or whatever, and that's really all you can do. You can't really release a DVD off of that, okay? Or in this case, DVDs weren't out yet, so you know we can't really make a video cassette of that, okay? So what a lot of the idol singers and upcoming type singers can do is they can make what they refer to as a schooler video, okay? Now, a schooler video, okay, you know, it's kind of a strange concept, but it's sort of like, you know, we don't, you know, like you don't want to, you know, make the, well, I guess you can say the career can go that way, but it doesn't have to. But you know, so you are a young popular, you know, star of some sort, you know, and you know, they want to make some videos of you so that they can sell to all the weirdos and that kind of stuff, right? And sure, if you went the AV idol method, okay, then you'd go pretty much, you know, straight into like softcore and hentai and whatever, go that way, and you know, and you can go into the, you know, into the career that way. But as a musical star, usually they make what they refer to as, you know, I guess the equivalent of a voyeurism video, where basically, you know, here you are, okay, we just gotta dress you up in different, like, you know, clothes and bikinis and that kind of stuff, and the cameraman's just gonna zoom up and down your body, and that's, there we go, and then they package that onto a video cassette, and then they can sell that, okay? So anyway, they made a particular schooler video for Hiroko, back, you know, just basically after she released the Endless Dream song, single. That was back in May 1988, and again, you know, it's it's one of these strange videos. You know, it's available. You can watch it if you know, it's available out there. You know, it doesn't reveal anything, of course, but again, it's something for those people that, okay, yeah, you know, if it was a different person, I mean, I'm going to try to transpose it over into something that's more familiar to you. But you know, let's say if it was, you know, a singing star like, you know, let's say Samantha Fox, or you know, let's use even a more modern example like you know, like Kim Kardashian. Okay, you know, if you have something like that and you don't have a lot of like songs, or you know, in this case, Kim doesn't have any talent. The idea is then, you know, why not just you know, take your you know, God-given gift, okay, and let's just you know, again, we'll just dress you up in like you know, skimpy clothes and bathing suits and that kind of stuff, and we'll just record you. We'll have the camera pan up and down, and you know, we'll put that onto a videotape and we'll sell that, okay. And of course, you know, at this, you know, in this sort of, you know, time and world, you know, people would buy that because, you know, that's, you know, the type of things that you know, you can market, okay. So onwards she goes. She goes to her 6th single. Again, goes with anime. All right. The song is Samurai Heart, okay, and this happens to be the opening theme song, second opening theme song for the Yoritaiden Samurai Troopers, okay. So this is another anime that I was, you know, I really got into. It was kind of, you know, kind of like they label as Ronin Warriors and that kind of stuff. Okay, this was released in September 21st, 1988, so a couple months afterwards again, and this time it ranked. This one hit not very high. It only made it to number 88 out of 100 on the Oricon charts. But it basically, you know, means that another successful anime. You know, her name again is now constantly popping up with anime songs again. But now, you know, at least in the public eye, she is now ranking something again. So again, you know, at number 1, you got your Zeta Gundam. At number 6. Okay, you got Samurai Troopers. Okay, so a lot of you people out there now sort of recognize her name now. Okay, you know, she's now known as the Zeta Gundam Girl. and the Samurai Troopers girl. Okay. Onward, she released her 7th single called Yume no Akagi. All right, that was released in August 21st, 1989. So again, almost a year hiatus from the last single. And the reason why that's important is because when you've got a popular song, or you kind of ride in the hot wave, you kind of want to keep yourself in the public eye, because then people start forgetting who you are, right? So if you kind of disappear from the limelight, then people kind of wonder, well, have you taken hiatus? Are you like has your agent unable to get you jobs because they can't the people kind of go, well, who are you, right? It's like, oh, well, we're the person that just released that particular song. It's right now on the charts, and goes, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you've got a good hit song. I don't know that song, or how many of that song? Yeah, we can hire you. We can make you another song or whatever. And say again, part of this machine, part of this engine that the Japanese have, right, for pumping through idol singers and that kind of stuff. So it's a good idea to make sure you're in the public eye. You don't want to make too much time between your appearances in that, because again, once you fall out of the public eye, then it's hard to get back into the to the groove of things, right? Anyway, this Yume no Akai song, it is the image song for the Musashi High School prep song. So basically, it's a prep school college which helps students, high school students, prepare for their exams. To basically get them into the colleges and into the universities, right? They decided to get and make an image song for them. Okay. Again, unfortunately though, this song failed to rank in the top 100 as well. So, all right. Onwards, then she continues to work, and then she manages to iron out an 8th CD single. Okay, this one is called Koe wa Tahiti. Okay, the Are Are Are. All right. She releases this song in August 21st, 1990. So again, almost exactly 1 year later, she decides to release this thing, and again, she's got a hit. Okay. Kind of a festive, tropical feel, right? Because Tahiti, so that sort of thing. Not my bag, but okay. People liked it enough. It ranked number 32. So again, she got her name into the charts, and it actually has some ranking now. Okay. Okay. Number 9. She finally decides, okay, let's go and release another song. Okay. Okay. Number 9. Probably the most important, the most defining song that she makes, okay, is number 9. It is called Eternal Wind, Homi wa Hikaru Kaze no Naka, alright? Released in February 5th, 1981. It happens to be the theme song for Gundam F91, okay? And and that, as I said earlier, I always affectionately call her or refer to her as the Gundam Girl. Okay, and so now and this is the reason why. Okay, this song shot her to number 9 on the Oricon chart. It is the highest ranking song that she's ever released in her entire discography. Okay, is this particular song? All right, it stayed in the top 100 charts for 27 weeks. So almost half of the year, this song is in the charting. It ranks number 47 in the year-end charts for that particular year, 1991. Okay, and again, not to be the Luke Skywalker syndrome. Okay, saying that you can only do anime songs, but by far this song basically cemented her career as a singing artist. Okay. She got a song that basically had staying power. It had influence, but not just anime fans, but regular music people and that kind of stuff, ordinary people, shall we say. And basically that now her name's attached to Gundam and to that particular song, Eternal Wind. Okay. And she's performed a number of different shows, because that's usually again as part of the Japanese machine, right? Once you got that single, you get dragged onto all these different shows. Today you're on Music Station. Next day you're on Hey Hey Music Champ, and then you're going to Pop Jam. Then you're going to go to Countdown TV, and then countless different interview shows like Smap Time Smap or Pop File or whatever. And so you end up being put on all these different things. And then of course again, that's also one of the few songs that she performs during this this live era thing, right? Again, there's going to be this movement where you've got shows that like music shows and that kind of stuff that where they perform on the show. They're going to carry that success onto a stage and make it a live version, right? And so a lot of these particular performances end up on those particular shows, like Music Station, for example, is one of the most popular countdown shows, and they started with doing the Music Station live for '95, right, type of thing. And then Pop Jam, does the thing, Countdown TV, again, all making their sort of live performance type shows, and then again she shows up on these particular shows and does performances of that one. Again, the song that defines her career is this particular one, and again that's when I don't really meaning to tag her as the Gundam Girl, but just showing that if your two most successful songs that you've written that you've sung is Gundam F91 and Zeta Gundam, then that kind of puts you there, right? It's like Mark Hamill. Yeah, I'm sure you might be able to have many different performances and many different acting roles, but everyone knows you as Luke Skywalker. And so if that's that's the syndrome, or that's the problem, well then that's how. The other important thing I know about this is that at this particular time she also re-releases that song "Endless Dream" again, okay, March 21st, 1991, and basically essentially next month after she releases Gundam F91, the song actually made it back on the chart again and made it to number 94. Okay, so this is another reason why it's important that when you get yourself into the public eye, when you've got a really big famous song and you're arrived in the chart, you gotta make sure pump your next song out while people know who you are, and then all of a sudden you get some people that might buy into some of the songs and whatnot that you have when you otherwise wouldn't have. Okay, so again, she managed to ride that little momentum, if you will, and managed to get another song, "Endless Dream" again. That was her 5th song that she did. Put it back into the circulation and managed to get some ranking out of that. So another 4. Okay, so usually now what happens is now that you've got some songs going, hopefully your next songs that you release will get you ranked in the charts. Okay, and maybe keep you in the public eye again, right? So number 10, she releases a song called "Yasashi Hoshire." Okay. November 21st, 1991. Okay, so at the end of basically 8 months later, this one ranked number 67. So good, right? Again, riding that momentum, right? They know your name. Your songs are getting played on TV and on the radio, and people are buying their CDs and that kind of stuff. And notice, oh hey, she's got another one coming up. Okay, let's buy that. And, you got another one out there. Okay, number 11. There's a song called Yumiga Mori Mori, okay? Now, this one happens to be a theme song for a TV show called by the same name, Yumiga Mori Mori, okay? She released this song in May 21st, 1992. And now, the thing about this one, this is a variety show. They do a lot of weird things. They sing songs. They do like kind of a karaoke type of thing, and they do weird tricks and weird just weird entertainment type of things on this show. Okay, she wrote or she got the to do the theme song for this show, and she always appears on the show as well. Okay, as a frequent guest. And the advantage of this is that now she has a vehicle to ride and to make music for and release singles off of, and you'll see this in our next few releases. Okay. Anyways, the Yumiga Mori Mori song. Okay, again, fairly popular, ranked number 50 Okay, and a lot of people in the industry know what that song is and know what that show is about. And they do get lots of musical guests and that kind of stuff in there, and they do weird stuff. They do magic tricks, and of course they sing other songs from other people and that kind of stuff. And even herself, she sings like a Sailor Moon song. So good. Now she's getting like that machine that I was saying, right? Now they've got you doing music, and now they've got you doing TV stuff. Okay. So now she's on this show called the Yumide Mori Mori, or the Dream Mori Mori show. She now releases single number 12, which is called Speed. Okay, September 24th, 1992. That's 4 months after her last release. Okay, this is the image theme for what they refer to as the Super Kick theme. That's part of the show. This one ranked number 15, so it got really, really close up there. I mean, Zeta Gundam got up to 9, so this got up to 15. So it's a really, really popular song. This is probably a nice, height part of her career right now. Lots of hits chaining together. She's on a TV show. Lots of public eye. Okay, right? Number 13, she releases a song called Whistle. Okay, June 9th, 1993. Again, 9 months afterwards. Again, it's also another song for the Dream Mori Mori show. Okay, this one ranked very well again, ranked number 10. So again, we're getting up to the almost that same sort of popularity of the Zeta Gundam songs that she wrote. Okay. And all together too, nice stream of songs that she's done there. Okay, another thing to note that the Dream Mori Mori show has the same MC as the Saturday Night Hit Parade show, which is again one of those karaoke shows where they basically bring in singers and that kind of stuff, and they don't necessarily sing their songs; they sing everyone else's songs. But that's the side. Maybe we'll touch that on another episode. Okay. Again, Whistle is actually one of the songs that I also heard, aside before I started doing this episode, and I kind of also like that song as well as a few other songs that she does. And now that it's all coming full circle, that now I can connect all these songs together in her singles discography list there.